So when I think of right to the city, it speaks to the idea that, I mean, of course I can give you my critiques on capitalism, and I'm not going to do that. I think it's important to kind of overlay that right to the city really is a response to this idea that the people who build it, the people who work in it, the people who worship in, the people who be, in the city is our city, right? It's not the government, moving away from centralized, I don't even want to say governance because we need governance, but like centralized, public, disconnected, governance to one that's like community control and governance is how I think about rights to the city. And again, the context of that is based in my own context, how I grew up in a community where Black people ran the politics of the area. We ran the economy, and I use economy broadly in the sense, even if we didn't own the businesses, there were some who owned businesses, but in terms of economy, if think of the etymology, it's like the management of home. What does it look like then for people to be with one another, to connect with one another, to bring resources, to share, and all of these things. So when I think about right to the city, not only do I think that the people do own the city, I think about it in this radical sense of building confederacies, right? I mean, think about Black radical tradition, or at least one of the pathways, creating these intentional communities where people connect. I think about, one of the most famous example is Moranage, or, Maroons in different places where people resisted enslavement, created these, depending on how you see it, communities, communes, villages, whatever, and then connected. There are networks of people who connected with one another. Creating these, I think, or at least one of the pathways that right to the city can take are people not only owning, again, our politics, our processes, but really building something that connects to others in ways that, again, thinking about confederacies, a federation of communities rather than these geographical locations where people live, like, where people actually control and connect to, whether it's from growing food to any other social, custom that we might share across. So that's what I think about, or at least that's what I've been thinking about for the last couple of years. And again, I think that as a transition to get to that place of people controlling it, just becoming more of, decision makers in the process of involvement sounds too loose. Just really having a stake in what happens in community without apology.